Hi everyone, Deacon Susan here with this week's Advent 3's activity. Today, December 13th, is St. Lucia Day. St. Lucia is a big celebration in Sweden that is celebrated on today, December 13th, which is her feast day. The celebration comes from stories that were told by monks who first brought Christmas to Sweden. St. Lucia was a young Christian girl who was martyred and killed for her faith. She lived in the early 1300s and died in the year 304. The most common story about St. Lucia is that she would secretly bring food to the persecuted Christians in Rome who lived in hiding in the catacombs under the city. She would wear candles on her head so she had both of her hands free to carry things. Lucy or Lucia means light, so this is a very appropriate name for Lucia. December 13th was also the original winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, which we now know as December 21st, in the old Julian calendar. And the pagan festival of lights in Sweden was turned into St. Lucia's Day as the country and people started to convert to Christianity. So today, St. Lucia is celebrated by a young girl dressed in a white dress with a red sash around her waist and a crown of candles on her head. Small children often use electric candles, but real candles are used for children 12 years and above, so you would have to be careful. St. Lucia also visits hospitals and old people's homes, or nursing homes as we call them, to sing songs and to hand out ginger snap biscuits. Children in Sweden love dressing up as St. Lucia, and they love celebrating the day by eating lussekaats, which are saffron buns, and they are dotted with raisins for breakfast. This day became popular in the 1700s, and it is also celebrated in Denmark, Norway, Finland, Bosnia, and Croatia. Even in some parts of Italy, children are told that St. Lucia, Lucy brings them presents. Let's see. I'm looking at my notes to make sure. On the first Sunday of Advent, many Swedes put out their Advent candles and an Advent star in their home. Traditionally, the Advent candles are 4 candles set in a box, which is decorated with greenery. 1 candle is lit on each Sunday during Advent. This became the custom of the German Advent wreath, and the wreath that we use in our homes, that is in our devotional and in worship at St. Paul's. Advent stars were originally made from red paper, and they were hung in the window, and they had holes in them so that light could shine through and shine out. So today, we are making lighted candles for the Festival of Lights, to remind us that God's light shines in the darkness and will always overcome it, as we hear in the first chapter of John. St. Lucia was also important because she dedicated herself to serving the poor, and she never married. She refused to marry and gave her dowry, or the money that her dad would have given her husband, to the poor as well. So other decorations you can make today besides the lantern for the Festival of Lights are paper hearts that are white, and they have slits in them that are crisscrossed for the Festival of Lights. You could also make candles, or you could make your own version. If you didn't get the Advent kit in a box, you could cut out strips of construction paper or cardstock or paper mache if that's something your family does, and make your own lantern in the center. So we will get started on this. This came from our Advent kit in a box. It has 4 sides. What I recommend is that each member of your family, especially if you have more than one child, takes turns, because this is only one item for your family. So it came with 1 lantern, 4 plastic sleeves or window sleeves that will go in, glue inside the window, and then all the different colored tissue paper. So I would take each of your children or your family members, take a clear plastic sleeve, put glue on it, and decorate it with your colors. And then you can attach your colored one just like this one. Whoop, behind my face. Just like this one to the lantern. And welcome back. We have just finished our Advent Week 3 activity, making a Festival of Light lantern for St. Lucia Day. And you can see how all the sides and the tissue paper were put in. The bottom was taped, so remember, you can use your leftover tape from week 1. And I do have a tea light inside. I do not know if you can see the tea light because of the outside light, but there is a tea light in there shining through. If you have one of those around the house, you can put it in and see the glow through the festival lantern. A couple of tips for making this: it is cardboard, so I would recommend that you allow all the sides to dry before trying to put it together. You do need to glue the clear plastic sheets to the cardboard frame. So I would recommend having some newspaper or a craft tray or some sort of covering on your surface to protect your surface from the sticky glue. The instructions say to use a glue glaze mixed with water. That's totally up to you. I just went straight out of the water, straight out of the glue bottle. You will need a paintbrush. You can use the paintbrush that came with your kit for week 2, or if you have other paintbrushes around the home. Tape is probably going to be needed for the top for it to stay put. Right now mine's okay, but in the end it's probably going to be needed as well. This is a pretty easy craft to do to celebrate St. Lucia. And again, if you don't have one of these frames, you can make your own. Make it into a balloon shape. Search Google and find many different ways of making lanterns. I hope that you will celebrate St. Lucia Day in your family. There are traditions for both boys and girls, so you can look those up. Again, traditionally girls wear the crown of lights, but there's also traditions for boys as well. Remember that we will come back tomorrow with the devotion and on Saturday with the recipe of the week. I hope that you will join us for Advent Week 3 this week and stay tuned for Week 4 next week. Thanks. Bye.